I'm Trench Reynolds. I write crime. Today we're crossing an ocean to find something all too familiar. Blood in the hallways of a school. This time it wasn't Texas or Tennessee. It was Graz, Austria. A quiet European city where the most exciting thing used to be the opera. Now it's got a body count. June 10th, 2025. Just after 10 a.m. local time. Inside Borg Dreier Schützengasse, a secondary school tucked into the peaceful rhythm of Graz, students were probably thinking about summer break, not survival. Then the piece cracked. Loud. Final. Gunshots in the halls. Screams. A metallic stutter of panic echoing off lockers and tile. By the end of it, 10 people were dead. 9 students, 1 teacher. And the shooter was curled up in a bathroom stall with a bullet in his head. His own. The attack lasted 17 minutes. But the fallout? That's still ticking. The shooter's name was Arthur A., or Artur, depending on which outlet you're reading. He was 21, an Austrian citizen. A former student of the school, he later turned into a war zone. He studied IT once upon a time, didn't graduate, couldn't hold down a job, lived in a quiet suburb with his mother and siblings. The kind of guy people barely noticed. Always looked down, always wired in, hat pulled low, eyes hidden. You know the type. Police said he had no record, no priors. Just another name in the system, until he wasn't. He legally bought a Glock 19 pistol and a shotgun. Austria, like most of Europe, prides itself on strict gun laws. You need a license, you need to pass the psych eval, you need not to be a danger to yourself or others. And yet, Arthur A. got through. Which is kind of wild when you learn he just failed at the psychological screening to join the Austrian military. The army said, no thanks, this guy's not stable. But the system still said, sure, here's a Glock. Go nuts. That's just not a crack in the system. That's a goddamn crater. Now here's the thing. A lot of school shooters flirt with the military. Not because they care about duty, or service, or sacrifice. No, they want the validation, the power, the uniform, the feeling of being dangerous with permission. When that route gets denied, some of them decide to take the power anyway, by force. That's what happened here. Before the first shot rang out, Arthur A. turned a bathroom stall into his own twisted green room. He put on black tactical pants, combat boots, a weapon belt with a hunting knife, shooting glasses, and a gaming headset. It wasn't breakdown, it was performance. He took a photo of himself crouched on a toilet with his shotgun, uploaded it to social media, sent a video message to his mother. She didn't see it until it was too late. She called the police. By the time the wheels spun, the massacre was already in motion. Inside his home, police later found a disassembled pipe bomb, a map, a handwritten plan for a bombing that never came to pass, his suicide note, all the ingredients of a premeditated disaster. He wasn't improvising, he was following a script. Austria declared 3 days of national mourning, flags lowered, bells tolled. TV broadcasts paused for a national moment of silence. It's what civilized countries do when their innocence gets shot full of holes. Because over there, this isn't normal. This isn't just Tuesday. But here, in the United States, we're numb, desensitized. If we held a moment of silence for every school shooting, we'd never hear anything else again. Now let's talk motive. Officially, still unclear. Unofficially, come on. This has all the hallmarks of a Columbine copycat. The weapon choice, the black tactical cosplay, the suicide, the pre-attack media trail, even the age lines up. And it wasn't just coincidence. The shooter idolized Columbine. He reportedly used a photo of one of the Columbine shooters as his profile pic online, quoted them, studied them. This wasn't a kid pushed to the edge. This was a disciple. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. He was also attracted to video games, first-person shooters, Call of Duty, Valorant. He wasn't just playing, he was marinating in it. He lived there. Interacted with the world through pixels and kill counts. But let me be clear. Video games don't make school shooters. You don't go from Xbox to homicide because of headshots. But if someone's already on the edge, that fantasy of control, carnage, and power, it resonates. It's not the cause, but it is the wallpaper of the room. There's a whole online subculture built around school shootings. They call themselves Columbiners. They romanticize the shooters, quote their journals, share their photos. They don't see them as villains. They see them as martyrs, outsiders who struck back. They talk about getting justice, but it's never about justice. It's about being remembered. Arthur A. didn't want help. He wanted a legacy. Some say he was bullied, that maybe the cruelty of others pushed him here, but we don't actually know. No one's come forward to back that up. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Maybe the obsession came first. Maybe he didn't snap because he was hurt. Maybe he was already drawn to darkness. Maybe Columbine wasn't a lifeline. It was an aspiration. That changes the story. That makes him less of a victim and more of a volunteer. So now Austria asks the same question we used to ask. How could this happen here? And the answer? It happens wherever people believe violence earns them a name. Wherever laws mean well, but loopholes talk louder. Wherever we let the next Arthur A. slip through the cracks because it's too uncomfortable to admit he wanted this. Thanks for listening. Not everything I write makes it to YouTube. If you want the full archive of 25 years of crime reporting, deep dives, and calling things what they are, you'll find it all at realcrime.net. That's where the unfiltered stuff lives. My most recent post is about the lack of support after the Uvalde shooting. If you want to help keep this going, help keep the lights on, please go to patreon.com/Trench Reynolds. Every bit of support helps. Special thanks to current patrons Mare and Kathleen. And yeah, I know, you've heard this part 1,000 times. But if you found this story interesting, please do the usual. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. It matters more than you think, and it helps push the truth a little further through the noise. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your empathy intact. I'm Trench Reynolds, and I write crime.